Hello and welcome. So in today's video, I want to share with you one really powerful yoga tool that you can use during labor and birth to help manage the pain and make the whole experience more enjoyable. So my name is Bettina Ray. I'm a yoga teacher and I specialize in yoga for fertility, pregnancy, birth and early motherhood. If you're new here, I would love for you to subscribe and make sure you check out the description box because I'll link any resources or videos or any of the other tools that I mention in that description box below. So let's get straight into this yoga tool that I know helped me so much during birth, and I know from working with other women in the studio helps them as well. So it's called the bee breath, or sometimes it's referred to as the hummingbird breath. And we're going to practice it a few different ways. So first I'm going to show you how strictly we do it in a yoga practice. And then I'm going to show you how you might use it during labor and birth as well. It will just be slightly different. So in a yoga practice, we usually cue that you bring the hands to these little fleshy bits of the ears. I'm sure there's a scientific name for those, but that's what I call it. And so as you gently press them in, this is what closes the ears in. So it's like you're, being a 10-year-old and going la 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 to your sister so that you can't hear them. Or maybe that was just me. So bring the hands to the ears. It's going to take a deep breath in through the nose. And as you exhale, keep the mouth closed and just gently hum. So you want to make that exhale as long as you possibly can. And you'll notice if you give it a go, you'll feel that the lips gently vibrate and there's this kind of sensation in the whole body that the whole body is kind of vibrating a little. So let's give it a go now. If you didn't try it first time round, pressing into the ears, closing down the eyes because it helps to take you inside a little bit more. We take a deep breath in through the nose. Alright, so if you gave that a go, I would love to know in the description box what you thought of it. If this is feeling really strange, you can let me know that too. And now we're going to get into how you might use it during labor and birth, because I don't know about me, but I've never felt the call to sit holding my ears shut whilst I've been in labor. So one way that I found can be really helpful is don't worry about the ears at all. You can still get the benefit of this breath and the sensation that it creates in the mouth by forgetting about the ears, and instead we bring the hands onto the belly. So as you breathe in, I want you to fill that belly up like a balloon. So imagine it's filling, the skin is tightening on the inhale. And then just like you did before, out through the mouth but with the lips closed. And as you're exhaling, you're imagining that the belly is softening. So the sensations in the belly are softening. Because obviously, if you're doing this during labor and birth, there's quite strong sensations going in the belly as that uterus is working to contract. So we'll do it one more time like this. As you inhale, breathe in through the nose. And as you exhale, imagine that belly softening and humming out through the mouth. So it's really natural to vocalize during birth. I think it's a natural, almost animalistic instinct that we have to make sound, like this moaning, like, I remember doing a lot of that. So it's really natural to want to make a moaning or groaning sound. But there's a difference between kind of the sound that we can make that's like, ow, ow, help, I want to escape. And that's kind of like all your energy is disappearing out of your mouth. Instead, that really focused where you're sending your focus and your awareness to that vibration, to that internal hum, and to also that visualization of softening the belly. That's a really purposeful and useful way of using your energy, using your breath, and it's going to keep you focused. So it's going to keep you out of feeling afraid, and we know when you're afraid, you tighten and tense, which makes pain during labor a lot worse. So as much as possible, we use that sound, that vibration, to just allow the entire body to soften. So I'm going to show you one more way that you might use this breath, And this is my favorite because for some reason when I'm giving birth, I always want to be on hands and knees. And I think that's a really natural way to want to be. It's quite, again, animalistic and really grounding in its position. Of course, you don't have to be in this position to give birth. You might be in the water, you could be squat. There are lots of different, really natural ways that are great to give birth that help to work with your body. In my Yoga Wisdom for Birth course, I go into a lot more of these. So you might want to check that one out if you're looking for maybe other positions that might work better for you if hands and knees doesn't feel great. All right, so obviously hands and knees, it's pretty basic. You want to put the knees underneath the hips. You might want to take them a little bit wider than the hips just so you've got more space to rock and roll. And again, the arms might want to be a little bit wider than the shoulders so you can really move and feel free. You don't want to be kind of still and stagnant because that can make the sensations that you're experiencing during contractions a lot harder to deal with. So it's great to be able to combine that sound that we use in the mouth with the B breath with movement. So again, just here inhaling into the nose, and then as you exhale, you might rock and roll. And then once the contraction is over, you might come down using a pillow or maybe your partner's in front of you just so you can kind of rest. We're obviously keeping the hips and the pelvis nice and open here and just allowing the shoulders to soften so you can really just relax and take that rest in between each contraction. You know, for me, because I spent most of my labor like this, and I was almost pushing back, like bracing against the floor, my shoulders and my arms got really sore. So having that pillow or cushion, or I think Andrew was in front of me for a little bit, to rest on really helped because it meant in between contractions I could really just go and soften and relax. So the B breath, of course, is just one type of breath that we can use during labor and birth to really help deal with the pain and to get through what can be really difficult and intense sensations. If you'd like to know more about them, my Yoga Wisdom for Birth course goes through more, or you can practice them with me in my 3-part yoga series, Yoga for Birth. That's it for today. The number one thing I really want to leave you with is don't be afraid to vocalize, but be careful when you're vocalizing and making sound that you're using it in a way that's going to be really helpful and help sending your energy downward where it needs to be to get that baby out, not out in this sort of way, tensing and tightening you and making the pain worse. Thank you again for being here. Make sure you let me know in the comments how you found this breath, and I'll see you in the next video. Namaste.